Hey everybody, Dave here. In this video, basically want to talk about the thought process and what was going through my mind when I made a Snowflake payment for Q Makes It Happen. If you don't know, recently I did sell a house and I basically kind of did a video on it and where that money was going to be going and kind of split it up and here and there. And also kind of mentioned that I was going to be making about a $38,000 tax payment just for selling that house. So as I was getting ready to make a quarterly payment that was due by September 16th, which is about $19,000, I'm going to end up owing about $100,000 to $110,000 this year. It's the most I've ever owed in my life in taxes, and I kind of knew that going when I was going to sell this house, but as I was getting ready to make this transfer to the IRS, it was dawned on me that, hey, this is $19,000 that's going to a black hole. It's probably not going to help anybody at all. And now you could say this is controversial, you could say that this is political. I'm not trying to get political, I'm not trying to get controversial at all. It's most likely going to go to a black hole and not help anybody. At least that's how I feel about it. So it probably would just go to pay, the national debt of $22.5 trillion. So basically, it kind of just made me think, why don't I just donate to somebody where I can see it make a direct impact? And Q Makes It Happen came to my mind because here's a guy that has worked super hard over the last several years to pay his debt down from $30,000 plus to just literally $8,000. All right, so and I've been there. I've had student loans. I've went to school for 7 years at nighttime my entire life. It's what it felt like, and it took me a long time to pay those debts off as well. Right, I didn't make it a high priority. In this, the interest rate was only 3.75%. So he came to my mind because I've seen a lot of his videos.
The 2 years, it seems, looking back, it seems like I got here a little bit faster than most, but at the same time, I'd done everything you could think of. Like, I went from one job working 40 hours a week to picking up 2 jobs. Now I'm working 70 plus hours a week. I'm doing side gigs, any side gig you can think of. I'm taking surveys online. Like, I work in the automotive industry, so I'm doing detail. I'm detailing cars on the side, washing cars on the side, dog sitting, everything, whatever I can do to make some extra money. So that's what I did. I did the snowball. I paid off my personal debts first, was probably like around 500. Got that out the way, boom, crossed it off the list. That made me feel good. Next, I do the bank charge-offs, because at this time, I don't even have a bank account because nobody would let me open an account because I was so bad with money, so trash with money, didn't know how to handle my finances. So through a lot of research and reading, I'm finally getting a hang of this thing. So personal loans, knock that out. Bank charge-offs, knock that out. Car payments, knock that out. So my car is free and clear. Personal loans out the way, bank charge-offs. So now I can breathe a little bit. My next step, I open a bank account. Nobody will let me open a bank account. I finally get a bank, and now I'm just saving. I'm putting everything in there. I make my budget, and I stick to it. 2 years later, I'm down to $16,000. But that's only in student loans. So that's going to take a little bit longer, but I'm doing everything I can, like every little bit I could throw towards that debt. That's what I'm throwing towards. So that's where I'm at with it. I'm reading all the books I can read. That's about it. That's about it, because I was tired. Like, I'm still tired. I still can't breathe. I still get tight in my chest because I know, like, if this is gonna work, I gotta be the one to make it work. I can't look at nobody else and say, hey, I need your help. I need you to get me out of debt. I'm the one who put me there. So I gotta take accountability and get myself out. So that's what I'm doing.
And he's paying the stuff up. He's working super hard. He's working several jobs. He's working, side gigs. And he's made basically all this extra money that he makes snowflake payments. I had never heard of that term, snowflake payment. So, and there's a video that he did, quite a ways back. I'll go ahead and link all this stuff down in the description as well, where he was basically talking about, that he could just, nobody owes him anything. It's like, this is the debt that he took on. He needs to take responsibility for it. And so he Googled, Dave Ramsey came up, and I'm glad that Dave Ramsey came up because he's helped a lot of people. So, he took responsibility for this. So why not give a little bit of help to him? So I made a $500 donation that I could see, him make basically, and not necessarily in real time, but through his video that he made a direct payment to his student loans. I get to see that direct impact on somebody's life, and that is big to me. Like that $19,000 I sent off, it's not going to help anybody. You can probably argue that all day long. It's not going to help anybody. So here I got to make this payment for Q, and a guy that totally deserves it. Is not asking for anything from anybody. He's going out and working hard to pay this debt off. So, just yesterday there's a guy sitting in front of Whole Foods, and he's like, "Hey, can you help me out?" I'm like, "What do you need?" And he's like, whatever you can help, whatever you can provide me with. I'm like, okay, well, I just got actually out of Whole Foods, so I don't want to go back in and buy something. So I gave him $5, but that happens to me all the time. People always are asking, in Seattle when I'm there, they're always asking, hey, can you have money? And, it's like, yeah, I usually can make a couple of bucks, but what are they using it for? They're using it for drugs, they're using it for alcohol, they're using it for bad habits. I really wouldn't really want to support that, but so in this case here, it kind of just made sense. I can make a direct payment, and know that it's helping somebody directly with what they're trying to do. So that's kind of the thought process behind it. Just recently I came across a article talking about, if we wipe out the student debt, it's $1.5 trillion. It's going to boost the economy, and I kind of get controversial a little bit on some of these websites because they're so far left, and it's just, my thinking is why don't we wipe out mortgage loans? Why don't we wipe out car loans? Why don't we lower taxes? That all boosts the economy as well, right? So, and somebody responded to that and basically said, he's going to basically be paying to the rest of his life until he's in the grave, and he lives, in an apartment or something like that, or a studio apartment with his girlfriend, and he makes $65,000 a year. He's got $120,000 in debt, 6% interest, and he's complaining, that he's going to be basically working his entire life to pay this debt off. And, I was trying to show compassion. I didn't want to piss the guy off, and say, well, you took this on, you're responsible for it. But he was complaining that he could not go bankrupt to get rid of it. And I was just like, that just kind of just irks me a little bit. It's like buying a car and, having it for 3 or 4 years and trying to claim bankruptcy and keep the car. It's like, there's no honor in that. It's like, it doesn't help anybody out at all. It hurts everybody really in a way. You took that debt on. I don't care if you're 17 years old and you took that debt on, you went to school. Unfortunately, that's just the way the world works. You took it on, you have to take responsibility for that. So, I feel for this guy, $65,000, that's about $4,000 I think he should be taking home. And his payment's $900. He should be able to afford that, payment. I know it's $600 in interest, but he should be affording that payment, no problem at all. And I get it. It's a constant reminder, and it's going to piss you off, but you have to take responsibility. And it's like, this guy ended up deleting his comments, but otherwise I'd probably show you all the stuff that he sent. But I don't want to call the guy out or anything. It's like, I do feel for the guy. Maybe he was taken advantage of a little bit by the universities, maybe his counselor, maybe his parent, I don't know. But that's kind of a common story these days. $120,000, get out of college and make $65,000. That's not a bad salary. I made that when I got out of the military, probably a lot longer than this guy did. But I didn't have as much in debt either from the student loans. But unfortunately, that's just the way it is. It's like you can go to community college for 2 years, reduce your debt. So that's really the reason why I made a snowflake payment to Q. He's taking responsibility. He's working his butt off. and he's not asking for anything from anybody. I can't wait till he pays off that debt and switches to investing. He's already got a leg up on many people investing wise, because he's, a lot of us follow him. He follows a lot of us that are investing channels. So go ahead and take a look at Q Makes It Happen's channel. I went ahead and linked that below in the description. Total genuine guy, hardworking, very humble guy, and very dedicated as well. So if you're looking at paying off some debt, go ahead and take a look at his channel. He's very inspiring as well. So that's the reason why I made that payment. I could see it make a direct impact. So in here I'm making this, first of many $19,000 check to the IRS. That is not going to help anybody. So that's it for this video. Go ahead and like and subscribe. I do, appreciate Q making that shout out in his video. A lot of his followers came to see me, and a lot of them subscribed, and a lot of them left comments, and he's got the most loyal followers I've ever seen, ever. So thanks a lot for that, Q. I appreciate it, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.